if you could all please join me in welcoming to the stage the director of Selena y Los Dinos, Isabel Castro.
Hi, thank you all again for coming tonight. I have the great honor of introducing a few folks to this stage. First, I'll introduce David, David Blackman. Next, I'll introduce Daniel Torres. And then, of course, I have the wonderful, wonderful honor of introducing Suzette and Chris.
Well, thank you guys so much for joining us tonight, but also for making this wonderful, wonderful film. I want to start off by asking you, Isabel, if you could tell us a little bit about your journey from your directorial debut, Mija, to Selena, because that was a film dealing with a couple of also Latino women in the music industry, and I just feel like this is such a great second film for you. So what was that journey like?
Well, actually, shout out to, I'm gonna cry, Doris Munoz, who was the subject of my first film. And so I made that film, it premiered in 2022, and it dealt with a lot of similar themes, just about young Latino women trying to make it in the industry. And because of that film, I was introduced to this unbelievable family. I mean, it was kind of the craziest call I've ever received. I actually received it from David, and I was just kind of floored, overwhelmed, daunted, and then I met Suzette on a Zoom. Yeah. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, here, I'll grab this one. I had the pleasure of meeting Isabel via Zoom with our lawyer. Simran, and I first wanted to give a little bit more of a go back a little bit further. Wanted to create a documentary with, we were ready to share a lot of this archival footage, and we just didn't know who could put this beautiful footage together and to tell our story, and hence Simran brought Isabel to me, and I instantly when I got off the Zoom, right when you were talking, actually, Isabel, I was like, oh, I like her. I love her energy. I love her heart. I could feel it like within the first 10 minutes of us just talking. And I remember getting off the Zoom. I text Sim, she's the one. Little signer, let's go, you know? And so, and now we're here. Yeah.
So, Suzette, I was curious, what was it about like this moment now that made you want to open up the archive to a filmmaker like Isabel?
A lot of it has to do with the fact that our family has recognized that Selena is a huge representation of who we are as Mexican Americans. She's relevant still 30 years after her passing. There is a whole new 2 generations actually in that are embracing her, discovering her, and looking for her. So I felt that it was important to bring the capsule of what we created so many years ago, not just with our music, but who she was and what we were about as a group, to here now to the future of 2025. So if the younger generation is searching for her, they can very much discover this documentary. And what better way than to tell the story is from us, the ones that created it, and of course her husband Chris, along with our bandmates, you know. So that was the main reason why I wanted to do this documentary.
And speaking of Chris, I wanted to ask how you specifically got involved with the film, you know, getting that call about it being made. and also what your journey has been like with this film.
Okay, well, getting the call, I mean, Suzette calls me, I answer, right? That's one. We're family. We've always been family. I love her. I love all the cues. You know, there's all kinds of stuff going around, but you know what? At the end of the day, we are family. I love her, and I would do anything for the cues as they would for me, and it's...
Just got the call, right?
Yeah, just got the call. Just got the call to do it, and I was like, yes, anything to further the legacy of Selena and the story, and then getting to meet Isabel and feeling her out. She was authentic, for real, which Suzette had already done it, but I hadn't.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. So, I mean, it was a simple choice for me, decision, but at the same time, you know, having to go through all the stuff again, and it's really heavy.
It is heavy for us, yeah.
But there's so much beauty in it, and you know what? Sitting in here with you guys for the first time, I really felt like I was watching it with you. You know, whereas before, it was a work in progress, is what it felt like. And tonight, it felt like, all right, this is the done deal. I get to sit in here in the room with you guys who are, and what's special about all of you is that I feel like most of you are, if not all of you, are all Selena fans. And you're just like us. We want to project and push that legacy forward and show that new side of things. Like, I mean, look, let me do this. Raise your hands if you've heard some stuff you had never heard before, or seen stuff you'd never seen before, and like it was a whole new thing, right? That's special to me. That's very special to Suzette, to Isabel. Like, that was the whole purpose of this documentary. What we did, you know. So thank you guys.
Thank you.
If it wasn't for the love that all you guys are showing and supporting, you know, Selena and all that, I mean, this would not have happened. So it's because of you guys that you got to see what you saw tonight. Thank you very much.
So, Isabel, I wanted to ask you about working with this archival footage. It's such a fantastic treasure trove that I understand, Suzette, you shot a lot of this yourself. So kind of for both of you, I'm curious what it was like going through it, working with your editor, Carolina, on putting it all together. And Suzette, I'm just curious, you know, what did you think you were going to do with this footage when you were shooting? Did you ever think, I'm going to make a movie out of it?
Make fun of everybody. That's what we do, right? At family gatherings, you know, we pull out the old tapes and go, look at your hair. Why were you wearing that? I mean, clearly I did not think that it was going to turn into this. I mean, clearly we didn't know that Selena was going to be taken from us at such an early age. But I'm so grateful that I was that one person that just was always with the camera and always with the VHS. You guys remember the big VHSs that you used to carry on your shoulder? Started with that and then went to the small one. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I got a lot of hate with the band. They were like against Suzette with the camera. I mean, the smallest little things. And I think the beauty of this documentary, even though it's archival and it was a lot that Isabel and Daniel had to go through to be able to tell our story, you know, because there was a lot, because it was in the vault.
Well, I just learned this week. It's called the vault. I'm so mad. I don't know why I'm so mad. I've been calling it a closet this whole time.
It wasn't a closet, Isabel. What we're talking about is where we keep all our footage of everything that you can think of since even before Selena passed away.
That's right. Suzette gave us the keys to the vault.
Yeah.
And it was
nervous. I was nervous about it. I'm not going to lie, because nobody's ever gone into the vault.
And me and Daniel walked into the vault. And
what do you think?
It was like a light came out, and then it was like, ah, and then you walk in, and it's just, it's like the size of a small room, and it's just floor to ceiling, thousands of tapes, of videotapes, of VHSs, of flash drives, of CDs, of film, of photographs. I mean, we walked in and we were
Overwhelmed?
yeah, that's one way to put it, and daunted. Daunted just by the sheer responsibility of it. From like a process standpoint, we also realized we were gonna have to both log it all, digitize it all, and watch it all. And so that process was literally only made possible because of Daniel Torres. Daniel Torres, the king of the archive.
Well, like Isabel mentioned, it was a whole combination of 2-inch, 1-inch, Betacam, Beta SP, VHS, and it was an entire process. We had a whole team. I was going back and forth with these tapes. The TSA agents knew me at some point because we couldn't put that through the X-ray machine. These were the originals, and I'm like, no, you don't understand. These are the Quintanillas tapes, and they're like, oh my gosh, okay, go. So it was an incredible experience. Like Isabel, I grew up with Selena's music, so it was really special going through this archive front and back multiple times with Isabel and Ricky in the office, and then at the office with the archival team before we could log it so that the editors can ingest it into their system and try to not include as many duplicates as possible, because each tape was edited. So you have maybe 10 seconds of certain footage, and then the other tape has 25 seconds from the same footage, but longer. And it was a process trying to identify what the master was, what the raw was, and what the highest quality was. So it was a 1.5 year long process of us doing that.
It kind of breaks your brain when you think about just.
He just broke my brain.
I know, it's crazy. And I mean, Daniel and I went back and forth to Corpus. We counted, I think it was a dozen or a little bit over a dozen times. We counted the amount of time we were in Corpus. It was like 6 months. And we would go every day we were there to Q Productions and sit at Q Productions, basically going through tape by tape. We came up with a system with Ricky and putting it in to machines that would play it back to us. So we did that first. We digitized, we basically identified the best versions of it, and then we digitized it. And then all of that was ingested, and then Carolina and I screened it all, like front to back. I mean, the layer, we just wanted to make sure that every single frame we could include, we would be able, we didn't want to leave anything on the cutting room floor. It was just so, it was such a deep sense of responsibility. But the thing we always prioritized was Suzette's behind the scenes footage. Like, we tried to keep as much of that in the film because, in my opinion, those are the moments in which you really get to know Selena and the family.
That 100% agreed, and I just want to say thank you so much for opening up your archive, because this is just, it's really amazing. But just keeping with this subject of the archive, I'm curious, like, what surprised you the most as you're gathering all this footage of her and learning about her? Like, what do you think surprised you most?
I mean, I was constantly surprised. I think that, so I was introduced to Selena really first through the film. I was 7 years old when the film came out, and so I knew the story from that film, but I didn't totally fully understand like the full scope of how involved the family was. Like, I think that going through the footage and seeing everybody's roles play out on screen really gave me a fuller picture and a deeper understanding that this was a family band, that everybody had a role, and I think that's kind of what started to emerge from seeing all of the footage. I also feel like I got to know Selena a little bit better. I think that she's just so unbelievable on stage and in interviews, and I think that there were moments in the archive in which I felt like I got to know her a bit better, off stage, and got to know her personality a little bit better as a person. Yeah.
I am curious to end on this note of I'm curious what your favorite Selena song is, and I'd like to ask you guys too, but also for you two, what was your favorite song to work on, to put together? But if we could start, Isabel, what's your favorite song?
It's really hard to choose a favorite song. I know it's kind of like you talking about favorite films. They're all my favorites. No, but truly, because they all individually mean something different to me. I think the song that I come back to over and over again, and that I was really kind of wanted to emphasize was Como la Flor. That song to me, I don't know, it is such a deeply personally emotional song for, deep and personally personal things. But all of them, like from a musical standpoint, I just think that they're just so groundbreaking. And it's just so interesting how relevant they still are. Like they're timeless, they're transcendental. There's every single time you walk down the streets in LA, you hear the music. They've had the staying power that I find really powerful. So they're all my favorites, but Como la Flor is the one that sticks with me.
Everything you just said was on like everything I was gonna say. It's hard for me to just pick one. If I'm gonna zap myself back on stage, I loved when she sang Si Una Vez, because she had that little attitude, you know what I mean? That little, I don't know, that powerness, that fierceness in her, like, was just like on point on Si Una Vez. Now, to me, everything is special to me because she is no longer here. I embrace it in a whole different way. Right now, currently, my favorite is Captive Heart, because it just gives me an insight, and I know that even though she is a legend now, I think that even if she was physically here still, that she would still be on top of her game, and she would still be a very successful artist. But if anything, Captive Heart is the one that right now just resonates with me, and I can play that one over and over and over.
Mine, it's not really a secret. I've said this many times in interviews. There's a song we did, Suzette playing drums, and it's a song called Las Cadenas.
Really?
Yes, that's my favorite.
No way.
Porque rompieron las cadenas de tu amor, y yo nunca más te... Yeah. Y'all know that one? That's my favorite. I play guitar on that song. But anyway, she sang it. She sang the shit, she sang the what out of it. Yeah. But that's my favorite song.
David?
Listen to it, and I don't have to say much.
David, do you have one?
Yeah, Come on the Floor.
Oh, I love that.
I mean, it's the tradition, but I love it.
My favorite, just because I quote it all the time whenever somebody does something bad, and I'll say, ¿Qué creías? ¿Que ibas a regresar? It's my favorite.
Well, thank you guys so much for sharing such a deeply personal part of your lives. Isabel, for weaving it all together. Just thank you so much for this wonderful film.
No,
thank you.
Thank you all.
Hey, yo. Thank you guys, everybody, for showing up.